Okay, I think we're good to go here. Where does that say that? Better turnout today, good to see. All right, vocab 6, creative usage. You guys finished that from last night. I've checked that. Hopefully share a couple of those in a sec here. Grammar, test on parts of speech. That is due by tonight, folks. Please don't be late, okay? Full credit for an on-time complete test. Whole thing, of course. And then we'll have a couple days to self-correct, just like we do on vocab tests. All right, literature-wise, should be working on reading and completing the study guide for Mice and Men Part 2, and that is due by tonight, okay? Maybe knock that grammar test out and then concentrate on finishing up your reading. If you haven't started, definitely get going on that. It is about 20 pages, okay? I don't think it's a hard 20 pages. There's not a whole lot on each page, and it's pretty easy read. I would say the only really confusing thing is just kind of distinguishing the different characters from each other as you go. So if you just kind of pay close attention to names and how they act, and you'll have that down, and the whole thing will be an easy read for you guys. So do a good complete job on that. Make sure and use quotes for all the think questions as part of your answers for full credit, in a nice good sized paragraph on the prompt for full 30 points. Okay, most important thing. So Thursday night deadline, which means you still have 3 nights, okay? You have tonight, you have tomorrow night, and you have Thursday night. But I'd rather not be getting emails at like 7, 8, 9 o'clock on Thursday night, like I don't understand what to do kind of emails, okay? So get going on that now. If you have specific questions, you can ask me ahead of time and still do a good job, okay? Something that was not there when we talked yesterday. You see the assignment post. There's a rubric in there that's finalized now. And then I also have a video reviewing the rubric and giving tips and actually showing those things going on in a pretty good example paper. Okay, so you definitely want to watch that. The most important thing that you need to remember is that if you don't have parenthetical references and or you do not have a works cited page, that's a 50%, okay? Not even gonna look at it. The first thing I'm gonna see is this person cited their sources, and has this person documented their sources with full information on the works cited page. If one of those things isn't there, it's not a research paper, okay? You haven't shown where you got your stuff. Even if you got your stuff somewhere, even if you quoted it accurately, if you don't say where you got it in parenthetical references and works cited page, 50%. And you'll find that's pretty standard in high school English class, especially honors. Let's take a look at that assignment post here. One person has already turned it in. I know exactly who that is. Does it every time. Okay, so here's the rubric. We'll talk through that real fast here. Introduction has opening device to create interest, not just announcing the topic, and the thesis makes a persuasive claim and is a 3-part blueprint. Body paragraphs, they correspond with the thesis blueprint. They're organized and persuasive, and they contain multiple relevant quotes, at the very least 2 in each one, that support your points. Opposing argument, either in an extra body paragraph or embedded in the first 3 body paragraphs. Opposing argument or arguments are acknowledged, but then refuted. It's 10 points. Conclusion begins with a properly restated thesis and then ends effectively with a closing device, which can be a new strategy or a touch on the opening device. Say if you had like an anecdote as your opening, you could touch back on that, reminding the reader to remember, the story that you told first and kind of leave them with that. Parenthetical references, they are present after all quotes and they contain the correct information, which would be the first item from the works cited entry. So if you used EasyBit to make your works cited entries, whatever the first thing is in that is what goes in the parenthetical reference, which if it has an author, is going to be the author's last name. If it doesn't have an author, then it's probably going to be the name of an article, or maybe in some cases, the name of a website or organization. It is not the URL, the web address. 10 points there. 10 points for MLA format and works cited page. So the works cited page contains all the sources cited in the paper. And in my video, I'll show an example of it, exactly how it should look and why. And in general, regarding MLA format, the paper has proper MLA heading and is 12-point Times New Roman, double-spaced. Other technical things. Transitions, the paper contains transitions in topic sentences and other appropriate places to create good flow, and I point those out in my video. Grammar, it's written in good, complete sentences and uses appropriate punctuation and capitalization. And you want to be especially careful with your quotes. There's a lot you can mess up there. Quotes hug what is inside them, okay? There's no extra space after the opening quote in the beginning of the first word. There's no extra space after the last word in any of the quote. They hug it, right? The parenthetical reference goes after, and then the period goes after the parenthetical reference. I'm talking through all that, but I show it to all of you in the video. So again, watch the video. Okay, Xing out of the rubric. Okay, so there is the video. It's 17 minutes long. First thing you should do before you start working on it is just watch that whole thing. I did that because I knew it would probably take a little bit too long to do live. Okay, what are we wondering about? I know you guys probably have to finish up, maybe doing reading today, but again, don't wait too long to start working on the paper so I can have a chance to help you if you need it. Just a sec here. Okay. Any other questions? You guys don't have much to say. You sure you're all good? So everybody's gonna finish this paper on time, right? You don't want to have to worry about that over the weekend, right? Got a question, Ella? Go ahead.
So I think you already said this, but I just want to make sure. So do we use outline, and if we like corrected it and made sure everything's good in it, can we like copy and paste that into a document for our final draft and then like add like bits of sentences or something that we need? Or do we have to like rewrite the whole thing?
No, that's exactly what you should do. And that's why I do the outline the way that I do it, because you basically have a rough draft, right? Now, I like dividing into boxes like that because that's easy for you to make sure and easy for me to check that you've done the minimum of what you need to, you know, to put an organized paper together. But yeah, I mean, my suggestions would be not only adding transitions, but adding, you know, when you get into the commentary after you've given a quote, instead of maybe just one sentence, you know, maybe you got a couple sentences or maybe 2 or 3 sentences to really extend those body paragraphs and make a good, thorough, persuasive argument. So yeah, but the first step, you know, is definitely copy and paste one at a time, you know, out of those boxes and into your paper. You might have a little bit of tricky formatting stuff going on, but it should work pretty well. And then you can just kind of fix it as you go. That's a real good question. Anybody else? Okay, if you're lost on the works cited page, what that's supposed to look like, remember I show you that in a video. And any of these questions, frankly, are easily Googleable, right? Like, what does an MLA formatted works cited page look like? If you put that in Google, I mean, you would get a million examples. It's pretty easy. A lot of checking MLA stuff would point you to a website called the Purdue OWL website, as in Purdue University, you know, Boilermakers. They have a really nice official, MLA stands for Modern Language Association, and it's the format that, you know, most schools use for writing any kind of research paper, what the heading looks like and stuff. But I pretty much show you everything you need to know in the video. So, all right, I'll stop repeating myself. Sounds like you guys don't have any more questions, so get to it. Thanks for coming. Good to see you. Have a good day.